We're live. All right. So, what we need to do here is we're going to let me lay out the plan for today. So, really the main goal is we want to move our Next.js app over to a monorepo. So, right now we're setting up a bit of a monorepo. This is our app right now, which is the Next.js app with Trigger inside. And we're going to switch over to this, which is going to be our mono repo, where we have our packages and services. This is going to allow us to add a bunch of different services on Cloudflare along with our Next.js app, and should just allow us to scale better because scaling is becoming a problem. Um, so yeah, we need to move over our current app over to the mono repo, ideally get that deployed, building everything like that. And then we're going to create packages from our helpers and also from Trigger. That'll become a package since we might need to call it from our other services, not just this front end eventually. And then, yeah, and then we have some bugs we're going to fix at the end of the night. So that's really the plan here. And yeah, probably not going to be as entertaining of a stream as it was last time because I mean, I'm gonna be honest here, I'm pretty fucking tired. I literally took an hour and a half long nap and yeah, I'm still exhausted. So um that could be a bottleneck, as they say in my trade. But let's kick off by indulging in some mindless entertainment, and I can think of nothing better than this. This guy, Tokyo Spliff, is the greatest programmer our generation has ever seen. Wait, let me make sure I'm using my. How the fuck do I change my audio device? Audio, microphone. Yeah. Um, lock volume, vertical layout. Bruh. Audio. What the fuck? Holy shit. All right. OBS, how to change audio. All right, this is some real coding stuff right here. Settings, yep. Audio. That's what I'm looking at. If Where does it show me my audio device? Mic mode, standard. Oh, nice. We can go portrait. Heck yeah. And studio light. And background. No. Um, and then oh my God, I'm still in this fucking Zoom meeting. Quit. God, I hate Zoom. I need to switch to uh Google Meet soon here. All right. Desktop audio. Jesus. Why is this so hard? It shouldn't be this hard to change my fucking device. My mic mode. But I think that means I'm using my AirPods, which is a terrible fucking input. It sounds like dog shit. Oh, what? What? Okay, which one do I choose? GPT, come to my rescue, please. Which audio device do I change to make it my Mac? When I do this, Yeah, okay, it's definitely my fucking Mac. So then we can do, if we make this my, fuck, these are disabled. So this one is my, hello. 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 All right. I think we got it fixed. I think now it's my MacBook. Set desktop audio to your Mac's output device. Yep. Okay. And if you want OBS to capture a microphone input, change the mic and auxiliary audio, which is this one. Yes. Okay. And then desktop audio. It says disabled, but I think it works because oh. Hey. Fuck. Did I not hit apply? Um Save. Jesus. Apply does the same. Why is there an apply button? All right. Blam. We're done. And now we can indulge in some beautiful Tokyo Spliff.
I actually also, sorry, I do have more boilerplate to do. I want to
I'll turn it down a little.
in this shit. Texture 3D.
I'm gonna just mute it because there's music. But look at this code that this guy's writing. This is just the most messed up code I've ever seen. This guy has a bunch of live videos. He honestly is probably the reason I stream at all.
Alright.
Oh jeez. Look how messed up this code is.
Because I have like a billion compute shaders. 24 inch rounded down. 24.
This really is writing C++. Using a calculator to write code, dude. God.
The end of this pass, which is all the...
Also, can I just say, whatever this program is looks terrible. So does this Visual Studio. Not Visual Studio Code, just Visual Studio. Looks horrific. I mean, look at all these buttons. This is a true IDE. Z is a poor excuse for an IDE compared to this. I mean, I would rather literally be dead than have to use this. But, yeah, I mean, this is insane. So, anyways, now that we've kind of framed this, work that we're about to do, whatever we're going to do is not going to be as bad as literally building a game in C++. So, yeah. All right. All we have to do is move over this project into our monorepo, which probably can start with, we'll just duplicate it, just so we have everything. Movies.ts is a movie. Okay, boomer. So, yeah, we're just going to duplicate this, and then we'll probably, I don't know, we don't need to keep archived. This is kind of, we'll just get rid of this, because archived is just a bunch of code I didn't want to throw out, because I didn't know if I'd need it. And then node modules we can get rid of for now, because we can always just reinstall that. And we're probably going to go through a process of trying to prune out a bunch of the packages we're not even using, because I've just been installing like crazy. And then, yeah, I think we're going to have to see if we actually need MDF's components. We have ESLint at the root. We're not going to use make in this project for now, and then postcss.config. I don't know that we actually need that either. And then, of course, all we really need is this stuff. So, yeah, let's do it. I think docs, what is this? This is some stuff that I think Cursor wrote for us. So we'll just archive that. Node modules we don't really need. Really all we want is to bring over our images and then our source. And that should basically do it as far as what we need here. So look at that, dude. Someone's watching. Yo, what's up, dude? Good to meet you. Okay, so yeah, let's just copy this. We'll just create a copy of this. Yeah, okay, I get that. Oh shit, I pasted it into this file. How big is this?
Copying 7 items. 4.5 gigabytes. It's like 90% node modules, I bet. That's insane. How big is node modules? 4.27 gigabytes total. What? 4.27 gigabytes total, whereas this is node modules is only 1.26 gigs. I bet this is actually like 3 fucking gigabytes. Well, okay. I take it back. So most of it is actually R code. That can't even be right. Yeah. This is literally 6.9 megabytes. I don't know where fucking my Mac is getting 4.3 gigabytes from. That's kind of ridiculous. Oh, maybe it has, yeah, it just jumped up to 3.9 gigabytes. Okay. So we're just creating a copy here. It actually went in here. And we'll just call this Streamlined copy. Move this over. And now, what we want to do is we're going to have our service, which is going to be called front end, and that's where we're going to dump in this code. So what we're going to have to do is we don't actually need our trigger directory here because that's going to become a package. So we can move this to to-do, 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 to-do. Everything's to do, but we're going to have a package here for trigger. So this will be called trigger right there. And then, yeah, basically, what we need to do is copy this over. So we could just copy the whole thing over right now and just kind of see. Fuck it, dude. All right. Boom. Now this has to move everything again if it worked. Developer. Services. All right. So we're going to copy. Oh, there we go. Okay. So copied everything and nice. It literally fucking copied everything over to our, we couldn't see these temporary files. So we're to get rid of those. We don't really need the output there. And we're going to get rid of our node modules. And then for some reason, we don't have our source. I'll just delete this directory right now and copy it over into this directory, into here. And then this will be called front end. And blam. So it looks like that. So yeah, now we actually have everything. And what we're going to do is just get rid of these again. We'll get rid of all these caches. We don't need this VS Code. Yeah. We don't need that. Node modules, we're going to drop that for now. Then we have our public and our source. And I think we should actually be able to get rid of our source because we're only going to have the app in here once we're done doing what we're going to do. So now, all right. So it says this file should not be deleted. I don't even know what the fuck this is, but I guess we'll keep it. Next config. This is obviously fine, but it looks we're gonna need to install next. And yeah, we're just gonna have to see. We have, as you can see, we have literally like a million packages in here. So we're gonna have to see what we actually need. I would assume we need all these TanStack things, React, Radix. But there's some things I know we can get rid of. Like, for instance, a lot of the trigger things. Unless they're mostly dev dependencies. Yeah, and we definitely don't need WebSocket, WS. So package manager. What is this? And now that I've exposed it on the stream, what is this? And is it sensitive? This is the reality of coding, guys. You just literally ask AI everything and you don't understand anything. Is your core pack configuration that specifies exactly what package manager and version should be used? I see. Ensures all developers use the same PNPM version. Okay, gotcha. All right, well, I guess we'll keep that. So yeah, now what we need to do really is we need to make this look kind of like our billing directory. And we could probably try to move... I think first thing we should do is move our helpers out of here and move those into one of our packages. So let's see. We have database. So this one we should actually be able to get rid of, with the exception of kind of our views, which I'll just move into our database. Let's say views. So this will just become, well, we don't need this file. But yeah, we just have a bunch of materialized views. The app, the dashboard, runs really heavily on materialized views at the moment, which is kind of not ideal, if I'm totally and entirely honest, which means, yeah, this is kind of temporary, but I'll just drag this over for now into our database package. So that's good. Now we can delete this. As far as formatters, so this one we don't really use. Also, this is a really funny kind of formatter. I wonder if we're actually using this anywhere. Format name. No, we're literally not even using it. So yeah, we'll probably just drop this. And then as far as parsing email, so are we even using a package for this? I'm pretty sure there's a package that we use it. I don't think we even use this file anywhere. Yeah, literally. Okay, we don't even use this function, because I have a separate package to format emails. And then what about this one? This one apparently isn't used. And then this one is actually used to format a call transcript. But we'll have to look into that one. That one we'll have to hold off on. Then we have getting context for an AI. So this is a function we use, I believe, a decent amount. Although we might have replaced it. See, this is the problem with using, like, I don't know. My project is just so fucking all over the place. There's so many different, like, packages and functions that I don't even know if I use. And I'm really excited to kind of clean things up and just organize them better. So it looks like, yeah, we're using that here. Yeah, so we're definitely using that in a few places. I didn't realize this was so short, though. Get custom values. Get contact fields. Get custom fields. And then, oh, and then we call a separate function. Oh, right here. Okay, gotcha. And then this does the full contact context. So we could probably move this over to our formatters and then deal with those later. And then new config. Yeah, so this is just like duplicating a configuration, which I think what we're going to do is we're going to have a package called queries, which is basically going to just have some of these basic kind of operations, like dupe configuration. I don't know if that's the best name. Dupe. Yeah, whatever. So we have duplicate configuration, and then we also have one that's duplicate dashboard, because for these data, these like objects basically that have like multiple kind of tables in the database, you kind of need a function that can like map through each one and update it. So we're definitely going to have that as a query. Then we'll have, we'll probably have email be a separate package, just so that we can define our templates all in one place and kind of keep it simple. So in this case, all we have is, yeah, so we don't really need this like resend. Yeah, I mean, we'll probably just have the templates be here. So really all we have right now is our auth code template that just takes in literally like, you know, the fucking the Shipma gig. But yeah, anyways. I guess one issue here is we need our app/globals.css. Maybe we should just put this in our app, or just keep this in our Next.js app. We could probably just have emails, or in our components. We could just have emails. That's probably better. And then we could just, but I guess like, because we're sending this from the back end, we only send auth code from the front end for now. But we'd have to figure out how to share that CSS file between both of those. But either way, we'll just keep it in there for now. And then, what else do we have? So our formatters, we have resend. Now we can drop this. Then we have Stripe. All we have is a very, very basic function for metering an event. I kind of have to decide if I want to have this be a function. Actually, yeah, if I want to have this be a separate service with a queue or just a function. We could probably just have this be, yeah. I don't know. We could put this in our queries. For now, I guess. Stripe meter event. And then, so that's good. Then we have a few kind of random functions that couldn't really be put anywhere else. So this one is a little function that runs to calculate, like, basically if a contact needs to have new actions generated, which are like things for salespeople to follow up on. And this function could go, I don't know. See, this is the hard part, is kind of like organizing where I want this shit to sit. But yeah, this get customer info function. I wonder if we actually use this. Yep. Yeah, okay, interesting. So that'll just be a query, I guess. Get customer info or customer from location. Actually, it's technically more from, and Jesus, install. And then actions, this one, I don't really know. Maybe we just kind of like blend a bunch of this stuff together. We'll call it operations. Like our actions, then we would have our Stripe meter event, and these are gonna have to be kind of rehomed. Geocode address, that's another perfect one for this, because this one we're calling Mapbox, and we basically have to geocode someone's address. And it's not like crazy, but it definitely has, you know, a few different parts to it. So then we have Open Router. So this is our client for Open Router. And in this case, I think we might want to do, we'll probably just have like, we could just create a, because we also have pushover, which we're not using anymore because they banned me. And then our upstash, which is really only used on the front end in the app. So we have rate limit, Redis, and client. Yeah, so we'll just keep this in the app. We need like a separate like whatchamacallit? Clients. Or we'll just put it in the root for now. Open router. And or upstash it should be. And then as far as open router goes, this one's a little tricky because we have oh yeah, as far as open router goes, here we just have a function that runs in trigger that says give me a new open router. So we could probably just have basically a separate version of this that exports and this will be basically temporary until we make a package for, I don't know, because let's see what Vercel. Hey, what's up, Mill Money Growth? Yo, that's sick, dude. Bro, drop the URL of your SaaS. Yeah, so we need to look at what Cloudflare AI functionalities they have, because I think they actually have a decent amount of like AI stuff that we could do. Earth. Available. You can train your fucking AI model on Cloudflare. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm good. But they do have a lot of actually pretty nice stuff here. Whoa, that's sick. Okay, I mean, I don't know if this is that helpful though. Literally just text embedding, translation. Yeah, anyways. Then I don't know, where should we put our open router client? Because it needs to be used in trigger, also in some cases on our front end, and then in a lot of cases it's going to be used in other services. I suppose we could probably make a package for that and just call it like open router or something, and then literally just export, because the only thing it contains is like this base URL, these default headers. These are really the only things I don't want to have to do every single time. And then we could just pass in yeah, and then this is just the AI SDK. We're doing import AI from helpers / open router. Is that not right? @ helpers. Yeah, so in this case, all we do is import AI, and then this gives us, oh, I see. So then you pass in the model, but you use stream text from, Vercel's AI SDK. Yeah, interesting. Okay. So we could keep it as AI. But what is that? That's create open router. Oh, right. And then this is the client from the Vercel AI SDK open router adapter. Yeah, what's up, Wazoo? I'm locked in, bro. You locking in as well? You keep me in the background for white noise. I'll just keep fucking talking like a dumbass. But yeah, okay. So we could probably do that, and then we don't actually need this new open router because we can just pass in our environment variable. And the only place we're using this export const AI is literally, I think, that one occurrence in our other file from @/helper/ open router import AI, and then this is all import open router. Yeah, so the only place we use it is from. This is interesting. Why do we import config? Oh, I'm just creating the client a different way. That's hilarious. What the fuck was the point of me creating that client then? God damn. Okay. So, yeah, we'll just move this to be the only thing that we keep in our app. And so then this is literally just going to be, and we could probably import the config from our provider here, or our package for OpenRouter. So, all right, what we need to do, we'll just tackle that first, and then the last thing is going to be HighLevel here, which has a metric shitload of open router goes there, and then HighLevel just has a bunch of API calls, and so we're probably going to have to do that in a minute. Yeah. Really, I'm like coding, but at the same time, I'm trying to like plan out how to actually build this out. This building out a monorepo thing isn't really coding, you know, it's mostly just kind of planning. Which, the weird thing that I realized today, shower thoughts hashtag, is you kind of like build your system at first just in any way. You go like, oh, this would work, and you just go with it because you don't have any money. You're like, I just want to get something working. I just want to get customers and not feel like a loser. And then 6 months down the road, you go, holy shit, like I'm still running on this old ass architecture that I set up at the beginning, and it's so not ideal. And it's kind of crazy that you just end up literally running it the exact same way. Well, let me drop a URL. Yeah, for real. It's called Lose Paper, and it pops up as oh, nice. Okay. Lose Paper. This one. Yo, this is sick, dude. Turn scattered notes, forms, document into circle knowledge that grows your business. Damn. That's badass, dude. This is sick, actually, because Evernote does this, but I don't know of anything that Google Drive does. Can you, like, basically make it so it'll just auto-import to your Google Drive? Or do you store the data and then you have, like, RAG or, like, similarity search on that? That's pretty sick. And this is, like, probably pretty straightforward, right? Like, you only have, like, 2 pipelines, like data and search. That's pretty nice. Oh, shit, you've already... Have you actually done 10,000 documents already? You have 250 users? Bro, what? Are you serious? That's crazy. I don't store the data as of now. I just let the user handle and save. Okay, gotcha. So you give them an export, and then they just save it to their desktop or whatever. That's interesting. Yeah. That's pretty sick, though, dude. That's actually awesome. Do you have 250 customers? I mean, where's your... Oh, pricing. $6 a month. Bro. I mean, if you're focused on businesses, you should charge like $25 a month minimum, dude. Because $6 a month, this is like B2C pricing. This is like some brokey that doesn't want to pay anything. Yeah, that's sick though, dude. Oh. Bro, fake it till you make it, right? Yeah, I mean, if you don't have any customers, it's fine to keep the pricing low. But I think you're gonna want to raise the price, especially because lower ticket customers just become such a headache. And it's gonna be really hard. Like even if you had 250 customers, if they were on the top plan, you'd only make 2,500 a month. You know, minus fees and minus like everything you're spending to. I'm assuming you're paying another service to do the text extraction. And all the compute while you're waiting for that text to be extracted, which is probably pretty slow. Um, but yeah, then on your $6 a month plan, 1,500, and 250 customers is a lot. But if you charge like $25, then 250 customers would be 6,200. Like that's pretty good. You could quit your job if you have one. Yeah. So, all right. Let's turn this into a package. So we're gonna CD into it. So we'll go CD packages / open router, and then what we need to do is run npm init, and that'll give us our package.json. Honestly, I could have just copied this one, but yeah, it's just gonna be packages / open router. And then actually we could actually call this models instead, because the nice thing about it is we need somewhere to store all of our AI models and a lot of the pricing information for logging. So what we have right now is in Trigger, we have under automations, we have this file models. And where am I getting? Dude, see, this is why it's so fucked up, because we have a bunch of different models. This is our actual file. Okay, we'll do this. So we need to put this here. And then we'll go index.ts. Yeah. We'll create a new file. Open router. And what's this going to do? So we'll have exports from, we'll export everything from index. Our dev dependencies, we're not going to have any of these. We don't need .env, we don't need drizzlecit. We just need, I think, TypeScript. I don't think we need types.node. I know we had that. And then we'll do, we have check, ts compile, build, tsc, and then pull, drizzlecit pull. We don't need that one either. Okay, cool. So packages / models. Yeah, for sure, dude. I think Mill Money Growth, your website is nice, man. I think you could actually build that into something nice. I don't know how you go about marketing it. It's hard because it's kind of lower ticket, but there are people that would pay for that, and it's just about getting in front of them, That you're probably gonna have to be kind of creative about that, but I think that could be a good business, Use an LLM. What? Wait, use an LLM to pull the text out of the PDFs? Because that's actually going to get pretty expensive. I don't think it's bad, especially for the MVP, dude. Like for the MVP, just fucking ship anything. Forget what I was saying just a minute ago about like worrying about how it's going to scale. Ship anything, and then once you have like 10, 20 paying customers or whatever, then I would switch over to probably like a OCR tool instead. How to make a tool that remove logo and watermark from images? I don't know. That sounds difficult because you have to basically generate what's behind the watermark. This doesn't really scale very well. All right, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. That might be cool, but it also sounds kind of difficult. So, okay. Then basically what we need is, in this case, we have an index where, and then we have our client. So then we just export what we need and call it. So we'd probably have, so we'll have our index where we export everything. I mean, we could probably have packages / models / or should we call this AI and then have, but it's all open router for now. Fuck it, we'll just keep it simple. So we just need our models. Yeah, whatever. We'll just do it this way, and then we'll just have client.ts. And then all this needs to be really is we'll get rid of that. And what do we have up here? Yeah, we don't need either of these. And all we need is to install OpenAI here. And then this is actually going to take a parameter, which is going to be, oh, this needs to be a function. I wonder if it should be a class, though. PNPM add OpenAI. What is it installing? Oh. CD models PNPM add OpenAI. Why is it trying to install everything right now? We don't even have... All we have is a dependency. Alright, whatever. That's probably because it's trying to handle this stuff down here. I would assume. But yeah, so... Alright. We're going to have our client... And we'll probably just export a function. Yeah, we'll just export function new open router, which is going to take API key string, and then that'll just return all right, just like that. I think we could do it from a class, which would be nicer. Can you do asynchronous classes? Like what we would want to do is basically something like this. Export class open router equals, and then it would be constructor API key string, and then OpenAI. How does that work? Then you would do, wouldn't this have to be, okay, then you would do const open router equals new open router. Oh shit, wait, that's actually sick. I kind of like this more. And then we could do const result equals await open router dot. But then when we want to do, I mean, what if we just did, the constructor would be the same as above, which would be return API key, like that. And then we would just do chat.completions create. Is that right? But this has the type of, oh, we would say extends OpenAI, right? Super. Jesus Christ. I don't even know what the super fucking thing does, dude. I want to work with classes because that's how Stripe and some of these like bigger SDKs work. But it seems like how would I get this working? Because I'd rather use a class with new open router versus doing new open router. I should probably tag this file. Client. Hello? Is already set up correctly. The class-based approach you want is actually implemented properly. You would yeah, but it no, that's not right. I guess why does it say you can't do chat? So if you look at this one, because I always fucking forget how to create a chat completion. So you do await client.chat.completions.create. So this is what we would need it to be able to do. But that's exactly what we're doing. Await open router.chat.completions.create. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. How do I bring back the fucking YouTube comments on this? On my, on my malware OBS. Okay, so the issue is that the OpenAI package isn't installed. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, okay. Alright, whatever. We'll just run this. For some reason it tries to install node modules. So yeah, for some reason it tries to install in some of our other folders, which is annoying. So it's going to take a while because it has to download like 1.5 gigabytes of stuff, but then that should add, oh yes, all right, blam. Damn, that's actually cool though. I kind of like that more because now we can construct our client using the new keyword, which I think is just a little bit more clear. Then we would just do basically equals new open router. Yeah, okay. That should work fine then. So we'll just have it like that, and then that means we can drop this, and we just want to export our config in case we need to use it somewhere else. But that should really give us most of what we need. And then of course we have our models here, And we're going to export open router config from ./client. All right. And then we just need to make sure that this includes, we're going to say, well, we need a tsconfig.json, so we'll just copy this over. Whoops, that is not what I wanted to copy. tsconfig. So we have our tsconfig that extends our base one, and then we're going to include everything in source, which needs to be created. Source, shit, fuck. Okay, so then that's our source. And so we'll include that, and then we'll exclude our output, our node modules, and we don't have a drizzle config. So that should be fine. Honestly, I don't even know what any of this shit does. I think we have this stuff in our base config. No, we don't. What does this do? Should we put it in our tsconfig.base? What do you mean you're bootstrapping everything? You're pulling yourself up by your bootstraps? Composite enables TypeScript project references, allowing you to structure your TypeScript project as smaller interdependent projects. All files must stay explicitly listed. Yeah, okay. No, these should not go in your base config. Okay. All right. Fine. So we'll leave those, and then this looks pretty good. And what else are we missing? TS. Whoa. What is this? TS build info. Okay. And then why is this throwing a fit? I think we might just need to restart language servers. Did that do anything? Restart. There we go. Okay. So yeah, then I think we should actually be good to basically just build this. So we have our check and then our build. So we would run pnpm check, which basically just compiles it, but it doesn't output anything. Or maybe it does output something, even though we have the no emit flag. That's actually kind of interesting. That does output something. Then, in this case, all we're going to do is pnpm build. And then that should output, yeah, source, like that. So that should be good as far as our client goes for OpenRouter. So we can just pull OpenRouter, use the model that we want, and then rip it that way. And yeah, so that's our models. We already have our database, and then, except it's pissing me off because I get this linting error here because we're ignoring this file, and fucking Zed doesn't let you ignore it, but that's fine. We'll persist. So now, yeah. Now what we need to do is probably just bundle a couple of these other things. So let's see. So we kind of did that. Bundle. We could honestly try to just move trigger over right now. All right, so I'm going to delete this one. I'll just move this over to our packages. And so the difficulty, I think, is that this has to depend on our other kind of projects, or our other packages. But that should be fine. So we'll go cd trigger and then run pnpm init. I don't know why I do that, because we could literally just grab this package.json. It's going to be more accurate. And then this will be packages/trigger. And actually, I think they have different kind of things that you can set up for your what is this? Oh, building agents with trigger. Trigger is really interesting because it's a cool tool, but it's just very expensive and not really worth the cost. So what we really want to see is they have a setup guide for Drizzle alone. Why? But yeah, basically, what was I looking for? We need, oh yeah, the build steps. So this should be documentation, and then build extensions, and customize the build products or the resulting bundle or container images. Oh, I see. So if you want to use these, you have to build them in. Add existing or custom build. Okay. I would think they have. Oh, you know what they have is, so we'll have deploy, which is basically going to be I believe it's pnpm dlx trigger.dev at what do we have here? We have deploy pnpm dlx trigger. Yeah. So we're going to have our build step here, which at the end is going to run this. And then I think you can pass this dry run flag, which should basically just not deploy it, but we just can check if it's actually going to build. And so and then to dev, we have dev, we're going to do pnpm dev like that. And then, yeah, really all we need is that check file to, but we would actually use build. I don't know why we have a check and a build file, because those basically do the exact same thing. We would have check if we just want to make sure it's going to build, but then we have build to build as well. I'll probably just get rid of check, honestly. We just dev. Once dev is good, we build it, make sure it's going to deploy, and then we deploy it. And so, yeah, I don't know. We don't really need, well, I guess we kind of want an output here so that we can use the types. And they have a guide for that. So tasks is a package. So we would have our package.json, and then create the package. So dependency, we need trigger.dev SDK. So we're gonna pm add trigger.dev SDK. Why is it? Oh. Okay. And for some reason, oh, yeah, we have this models. But this could actually go, oh yeah, this is the file we just basically made redundant. Except where did this come from? We have tokens. Oh, we just moved these out of tokens. Okay. All right, that's good. So we just have our node modules. Then we're going to need to drag our trigger config and put that up here. And then we also need our TS config, which doesn't really look like there's anything specific to trigger here. So we'll just pull in our, basically this one. So this will be the same TS config dot JSON. And yeah, I think we're gonna have an output here because we're using trigger, and we'll also ignore dot trigger because they build like a cache when you run the dev server, or maybe even when you deploy too. So we also don't need this drizzle config because we have that. We're not going to need this ESLint config because yeah, because we have this, except we're going to have to probably bring in next TypeScript. So we'll just leave that for now. Then we have this, which is shadcn. We definitely need to keep this. And then, yeah, Tailwind config. I do want to move to Tailwind v4, but yeah, I think for now, we're probably just going to have to soldier on without it. And then, let's see. So we have trigger here with all of our files and our TS config. We also have our dev dependencies. Oh, we need to add this from these docs. So we'll add the add.d. Why does it keep installing? God, that's gonna piss me off. All right. Jesus Christ. What the? All right, fine. What? There we go. All right. Oh, and then this is going to be this command. Like that. Okay. Now our trigger config is giving an issue. I think we should probably just include it. ./trigger.config.ts. Gosh, dude, Zed's autocomplete has gotten way, way better. And then, of course, they still have a lot of problems with language servers, so we have to restart this for that error to go away. But yeah, we have our project. Our runtime is Node. We have our max duration. Yeah, this looks fine. And then this is actually going to be source slash. No, it's just going to be slash source. So, all right, that gives us our trigger package. Now, of course, we're still going to have to basically make it so that that becomes yeah. So, and then we can also check this off. And yeah, so we have trigger. That looks okay. I think, I mean, obviously we're going to have to test it. And there are actually a lot of different packages we're using here. They're going to have to be updated. Like, for instance, like we have this type from, which is actually going to come from, let me see how you do this. I think you do dependencies are at packages slash database, and then this is going to be workspace colon asterisk. But then that way we should be able to go to this file and swap this out with at packages slash database. Oh, and then npm install. npm install. God. What the hell? Why does it keep doing this? Why does it keep saying it has to install it? And then that should show up properly. Yeah, okay, perfect. So yeah, so that's good. We're gonna have to come back and do that. That's gonna be a huge pain in the ass. But let's move on to, I guess, some of our other things. Really, we just have operations like generate contact actions. These are just very basic scripts, and then geocode contact address. So these are just really basic scripts that just need to be called, and they shouldn't be that hard. So really, we'll just have a source. We'll drop these in there. We'll have a tsconfig and a package.json. And this tsconfig is just going to include our source files. I think we can do it that way. And then we'll exclude just our node modules and our output. And then we are going to be emitting a build here. And in this case, all it's going to be is a build command, which is just going to be no emit, and then in this case it's going to be yeah, actually that's really all we need here is just a build command. And then yeah, we don't need these dependencies, so we'll get rid of that. Actually, we do need the database dependency, but that should mostly be it, because really all we need is what is this one? Generate contact actions. Where are we calling that? Oh, fuck. I wonder how many backfill events are coming from this. Trigger just needs way better logging, dude. And like an analytics, because I have no idea where these are coming from. And I guess I'm not logging it out, which is very helpful as well. All right, fuck. So, yeah, we definitely need to start logging where these backfill events are coming from as well, which I will add in here. And we'll go, we'll say source is going to be a string, and then await tags.add source payload.source. All right. So that should give us some better insight, but yeah, I guess this does need to invoke tasks, which is kind of tricky because now we have to depend on, I don't know. I mean, we could probably, because I think the way this needs to work is we would have our package.json, then we would have, yeah, so we would export everything from the SDK there. And then we would export, oh my god, we have to export all of our fucking tasks individually. That's annoying. But okay. And then we would export the type. Okay. Alright, whatever. So then we just need an index here, which is going to be index.ts. We'll export everything from the SDK. And then we're going to have to export, like for instance here, we're doing tasks.trigger backfill contact data. Okay, so we'll just export this one for now and just see how that goes. So export star from ./automations/ backfill / contact. And then I guess we should be able to build this, except it's not going to emit an output because it won't build, which means we kind of have to get trigger built first, which is going to be not super easy, but I'm up for it. I'm up for a challenge. All right. Let's do it. 2 viewers, dude. What's up, guys? We're going to fucking do this. I don't know how you're planning to use a monorepo, but here's a tip. At the beginning, I used a monorepo for several projects. In the long run, it turned out to be a pain in the ass, and even though I was using PNPM, eventually I gave up on sharing packages between different projects. Yeah, gotcha. Well, how did you use it? Because, yeah, I mean, I think, I don't know. The problem for me using a poly repo, I guess, I don't know what the term is for a single repo for everything, is that I need to distribute a lot of my tasks to other services like Cloudflare, creating different services on Cloudflare. Also probably deploying different like a main website. That's becoming a pain to have in our main Next.js app, and then the dashboards. And so just deploying it in different places really is the main reason to use a monorepo. And then I guess the standard way is to use like packages. But yeah, I think it might become a pain in the ass because of things like trying to figure out how to like omit a build and or emit a build. But you know, that's how it goes. So oh, interesting. So we have these functions here. Damn. All right, so we're gonna have to bundle these as well. And this one, so if we go back here, we have like backfill contact and upsert pipeline. Yeah, so this one basically has to, how am I calling upsert pipeline without passing drizzle in? What? I'm passing, but then this uses pooled drizzle. How is this not failing? Holy shit. What the hell? Because we're not even passing environment variable here. How does it get it? Jesus. All right. Yeah, so we're going to need to create these packages first, probably. Like getting contact data, upserting pipeline, upserting calendar. Okay. Yeah, I knew this was going to be a pain in the ass. Fuck. Okay, so probably what we'll do is we'll just create HighLevel first, and then we'll create a folder called source, and we'll create our package.json and our tsconfig.json, which is not a folder. It should actually be a file, tsconfig.json. And then these go in the root. And yeah, so on our front end, we have this HighLevel. This one, I think we copied this out already. No. Okay. But then these will go in our HighLevel package right here. We can delete that and call this source. And so here we have this access function. All it does is get the token. So yeah, I mean, this is probably fine. Although I think we would want to have a separate package to do this. Dude, this is actually getting really fucking confusing though, with all these like packages and services and stuff, trying to blend them together. At the beginning, I thought I could reuse my UI, lemon squeezy, etc. packages in different projects. It turns out it doesn't work for me, and it's easier to create single repo. Oh, I see. So you have like different projects that you're trying to share packages with, so you can just iterate really quickly. In my full-time jobs, we're using monorepo, and it's working pretty good. But we have only 2 services that have UI components shared, and no more packages. Interesting. So you only have a UI package. Yeah, gotcha. I mean, what we have really is it's kind of a lot of shit. Somewhere we have a bunch of different like services that need to run handling data, and we also have kind of like a dashboard, but that needs to be, we have a front end basically, which is a dashboard plus a website that really should be extracted into 2 separate things. And then especially for like collaboration, if I ever have someone else work on the website, and also just because right now the website isn't really ideal, and it's the routing is all fucked up. So I'd want to use a subdomain for the dashboard and then have the root domain go to the website. So that would be a separate deployment. But yeah, then we have a bunch of different services that I'm going to spin up. And I don't really need to create a bunch of services. We're going to host everything on Cloudflare on the back end, basically. But the main problem is just like keeping things kind of separated. I think that's really the main benefit I'm trying to go for here. But a better type may be inferred from usage. Yep, you're damn right. Oh, this is still typed as any? Oh, what the hell? Okay, so it should just be typed as access token. This is actually going to be a string or null. Same thing here, string like that. Why is this typed as any? Oh, because we don't have our database. Yeah, okay, that's why. This is probably fine. All right, so we just need to import our basically our database package here. So we'll do copy that, paste that. So for our package here, this is me packages HighLevel, and then I think we really only need the build step here, much like this one. And then, yeah, we'll have our output, and then dependencies are really only going to be at packages/database, which is going to be workspace. And then this will just include our source and everything in it. And yeah, that looks fine. So now I think we should be able to see out of this slash and then run pm install. And then this is going to come from from at packages/database. And we need our operators. This is a really cursed way of doing these operators, but fuck it, dude. I hate importing every single drizzle operator. All right. And then now data is going to be typed as what? Okay, so this just needs to be typed as this, basically. Data this, or null, I suppose. Or undefined. Like that, okay. Yeah, that should be fine, because we'll just throw an error if we can't get data. And then that should be fine. So then now we just have to convert these to match our new kind of schema. So and this can actually just be typed that way, I think. Except, no? I thought you could pass fucking a generic to that. Do I have to use a typecast here? I need to use as here. Yeah, as long as it's still the same project. I mean, I saw a guy on YouTube who literally said he uses one monorepo for all of his like side projects, which I honestly thought that was really cool. I was like, I want to do that as well. That's funny you tried it and it wasn't that good. But yeah, I really like the idea of this monorepo thing. Also helped me understand. Damn, okay. So we have to basically type it as response. And then I think what we can do is just throw data. is this saying an error? Because in some cases we definitely want to do that. Like, I think here we're saying throw data. Yeah, so it's giving the same error. Yeah, but why wouldn't we just throw data? Because data contains more info about the error than the actual data itself. An arbitrary error that we type out. Can we include the data too? I'm just trying to like get this to be actually nicely typed. Data contains so why is it a best practice? Error objects have stacked traces for debugging. They work consistently with error handling tools and logging. They're what catch blocks expect. I see. But when const error equals new error. Oh, I see. Interesting. Include data in the error message. You could stringify it. Oh, okay. So we could do... We could probably just define like an error kind of... Well, we need an index here, and then we could probably just have an error.ts class. So we could do class HighLevel API, HighLevel error extends error, and then we'll say the constructor is uses message, string, and data as any. Except ESLint's not really gonna like that we're using any there, but and then this dot data equals data. Except it doesn't exist. This as any dot data. We need a semi or unsafe assignment of an any value. Fuck you. Yeah. Yeah, we'll create a custom error class. I just don't understand why it's saying this. What is this? Chat rate. The chat rate of the stream at the most recently. Chat rate. Units would be helpful. Okay. You need to use the high-level error class you've defined. Replace the throw statement at. Fix the Well, yeah, but export class high-level error. So then we would go here and say throw new high-level error. We can just do that. Company failed to fetch company info, and then we'll just include data. Data. We just need to import this, right? Oh, yeah, we use a constructor keyword. Okay, so that should work. But then we're just getting happening in our constructor at error. Oh, we can do unknown. Oh yeah, blam. Okay. And actually, it should be response instead. This dot response. Okay. Then when we throw that, oh, you can make it generic. Yeah, but what the fuck is the point of making it generic? There's no real benefit of that. Okay. So that should be fine. So then we can just throw errors that way. ESLint's not going to complain. And we're following best practices. All right. So then that should be fine. And then this kind of gives us the data that we get back. So then we just have to implement that for basically every single other one. Although in this case, we actually pass the access token straight down. But I guess that's because we use this in a different context. But here, we'll need to import import type drizzle client. And then here we're going to say, so we're taking an install type, install ID, app key, in the client. So we could call this, get tokens pretty accurate. Access token. So then we'll just import this. So we'll import access token from // access. And then we'll call that. And then this one needs to take basically a drizzle client as well. Except we only call this from, but we'll say drizzle client. Okay. And then this we should define as, we're going to use data as the response. Or we could call it body, actually. Because then we want to define, or actually we should say parameters. And then make it work like that. So then we would say drizzle parameters that way. And then here, we don't need that. We're just going to pass drizzle down, and then this is going to be parameters dot. Okay. Title. Yeah, okay, that should work. And then for searching users, we need, what parameters does this take? Oh, look, company ID, optionally a location ID. And then here, so we need access token. And then this is also going to be access token. And then drizzle is going to come from here, and this needs to be typed. That's the problem. @/ packages / database. Okay. And then we're saying data. I see. Data as data. Okay. So yeah, that's fine. Then you can see this might take a while because we have literally like 800 fucking things that we need to. These are all just types. So maybe we could have like a types, a separate kind of webhooks place to store these, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll just have an index in each of these. Index.ts. And then export star from company info, export star from search users, from update create item. And then search users might actually belong down here instead. What is this? Is this the exact same fucking... Bro, this is crazy. This is literally... Oh. Search. That's so weird. Oh, this is get a single user. Right. Okay. Yeah. So we'll put search users in here instead. And so then this one will just have create menu item. And we'll call this create menu item. Create menu item. All right, cool. Actually, yeah, because you have like, it's interesting. In some cases, you would call it get. Gosh, this is bright. You would call it, like Cloudflare has examples of using durable objects, and you call this method called ID from string. So it's interesting they don't call it like get ID from string. You would call it literally like just what it does, but minus the get or minus the create. Because in this case we would have like notes, create node and update node. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory, but in this case it's literally just like get company info. So I'm moving everything over to a monorepo. If you check the description, I have a link to my website where you can see kind of what my project does. But it's basically like a B2B SaaS product. But yeah, so for this, I'm just being OCD. I don't know what to call this. But we could just call this file get company info, just to be a little bit more explicit. Because in this case, we're saying this function is called get company info. Like that. And then for this one, oh my god, we have so many. Jeez Louise. We'll come back to that one in a second. All right, so then we have get access token. So yeah, this one is actually the OAuth system. And this one, honestly, we could probably just move this over into our integrations service that we're going to create, because we're going to have basically like this only really is needed for integrations, and that's really only called from like a single workflow. So probably what we'll do is we'll just move this back into trigger in our installation system. Installation. we'll just drop it there for now and not use it here. So then in this case, we need to get the at packages/database. We need to get drill client, and then we need our access token. I mean, you could honestly call this like access from ID or something. Whatever, token from app, token, whatever. And then this is going to be from / access. And so we call that access token, and then as response, whatever, we call that data. And yeah, that looks good. I guess the only thing we should have been doing is making sure to throw, using our new interface that we created, because we'll throw this high-level error when we fail to fetch. So we'll throw fail to create custom menu link error. Actually, would it show, because this data, I guess we don't have a properly typed response for this, so it won't actually throw an error. So we should have gosh, I haven't come here in a long time, but HighLevel. And we're gonna have this, we gotta look for menu link, create custom menu link. So this one is gonna be icon information. Oh, this is the response. Hopefully, because you can never really trust their types. Type response. You have to do equals this. And then this is actually just going to be string, and then string. Okay. Yeah, it looks fine. And then this one will be, yeah, we can just leave it like that. And then we're basically going to say, if what's the best way to do this? If response.status, do they give you a post installation? So in this case, let me search for one for, why do I not have any fucking tags, dude? Jesus. When were these created? Oh my god. Dude, this is crazy. People have been installing my app and I just haven't even known. My internal notifications aren't working. That's probably why I've been getting those emails about like errors. Let's see. This is my CRM. Review. Checkout session complete. What's the error? Oh, geez. Oh, it's just the reporting. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Why is it checkout session complete. It's not reporting a purchase. It's reporting a start trial. Okay, well that one... Oh yeah, last occurred. Alright. It seems like this one is probably the one that's going wrong. Except it's just post-hog conversion that's not working. And this internal notification is... Okay. Alright. Oh yeah, I should have done a flashbang warning, by the way. My bad. By the way, were you thinking about creating some kind of course to sell knowledge about specific topics? Yeah, thanks, dude. Yeah, kind of. I mean, I've heard a lot of people just make way more money selling a course than doing the actual thing, but I want to scale my business up to 100K a month, and I don't think building a course is going to be as fun, so that's kind of where I'm at there. What just happened? Come back to me. All right. We basically need to go if data dot whatever it's called, custom menu, throw new high level error. Then we'll add the data in there. As response. I just don't... Why do we wrap this in a try catch? I don't actually think we wrap... Like when we get a call transcript, yeah, we're not wrapping that in a try catch statement. I don't think you really need to do that. Response.json, because they're going to send that back a JSON response anyways. Yeah. All right. Fuck it. We're not gonna wrap it in try catch because it works fine without it. But I wonder if we could just go like, for instance, if we look at our events. Let's see. I don't know anywhere that we're console.log response. Because I just want to see if they're actually like assigning like... Oh. Yeah, so I guess in this case we are doing it. But this one has a status code in the data, which isn't really... I think the best approach. I think you want to put that in the header. I'm just curious what they actually put in the fucking headers. Because then we could just go, if it's not okay, then throw an error. HTTP okay field. What the hell? Oh, interesting. The status text has no semantics. It's just for debugging. Don't ever change your system behavior based on it. Fuck. All right, this is going to be a lot more work than I thought, and we actually need to fix some bugs for some of our users right now, which means we're gonna have to make some changes. Then we're gonna have to kind of copy over those changes to some of these packages like trigger and our front end, which means basically fuck me in the ass. And dude, we're gonna have to do so much refactoring here. Like if we just look at like any of these, well actually, yeah, I mean for the dashboard, like so much of this stuff has like fucking uses well, this one's client. Basically anything client side should be fine, but then like server side components are going to be a huge pain in the ass because we have to swap out all the import statements to match our packages. Yeah, dude, like Fireship built his own platform to host his courses. Yeah, I think that's kind of make it more fun, you know, just like spinning it up on fucking school or something and selling a course. Doesn't sound that fun unless I can make it like really good. But I think in a lot of cases the hard part is just coming up with an idea. Um, and you can't really be like an idea coach, you know, because a lot of the times like an idea is kind of personal, where you know why an idea is a good one and you have like experience with it, and someone else who's not your target customer might not understand. And like a lot of people really struggle with coming up with the idea. But yeah, okay. Dude, this is kind of fucked up though. I just want to see what their status text is. Or what their response is. But it says it's a regular response. We could probably just use... I mean... I don't know. This isn't really a big detail. But it would just be basically like... If response.ok, then throw an error. But then like... Then we wouldn't have the information about why it failed. So I guess we could probably have it... We'll just do it this way. So if we don't have the data that we need, then we'll say throw new error, else console.log. We'll say fetched company. And we probably want to put the function name in here as well. Maybe what we could do is say, is just make this kind of more, yeah. Maybe we'll just do it like this. Create menu item. So that way we just know where it came from. Else console.log create menu item data. And then all we have to do is, I mean, this doesn't even have a return statement, but that's fine. Okay. And then, because it'll just throw an error if we care about that. And then here we have, we're gonna go get company info. This is just because like sometimes when you have a lot of different functions running like one after another, it's hard to trace down like where the error is actually occurring. Like where are we fetching and what's going wrong, or where is this error actually occurring? Because you can see the message, but sometimes it's not enough. So just setting things up this way should help kind of make it simpler when it comes to doing that. So then, yeah, here, this is going to be access token from /access packages/database. Access token, and then as data. We should actually type this as response as well. And then we need the same kind of error handling, so we'll go if data.calendar, throw new high level error. That's going to be get, we should probably, get location calendar, and then that's going to be data. Else will console.log get location calendar data. And then in this case, we're also going to return data.calendar. I mean, we could just put it here. All right, sick. So that's about like 2.5 billionths of 1% of the work that I actually need to do. And yeah, now we got to fix a couple of bugs. I might have to just spend the next, dude, I hope this doesn't take me more than a day, because we actually have problems we have to solve, and this is not really solving problems. This is kind of just masturbating. We have to fix evaluation issues. This isn't too difficult. And then we have to, Cameron wanted better filters for contacts in dashboard. So what I'll do is just open this up. All right. So he hasn't said anything, so I don't know. We'll just probably put that off till tomorrow. Include time, no end date. We'll just make that tomorrow. And so we'll just say we tried with this. This is going to take way longer than I was hoping. Finish moving helpers over to new packages. Finish updating trigger.dev package. Finish implementing front-end service. So, okay. Yeah, let's basically, I mean, this is going to be really easy to fix this, because all we have to do is we just have to get their customer ID and then exclude them from basically from skipping what we have right now. So we have our last activity checks, which all we did was add this. So we'll probably just put that back. Or we'll get rid of that for now. And then under check contact activity, this one takes a location ID and grabs the, oh, for fuck's sakes. We're not grabbing the customer ID. But we could probably just pass that in. So we'll say, we basically only want it to run for 2 customers. So we can just override this, but we'll say, what do we grab here? The configuration. Why don't we just grab the customer ID here too and then filter it out? Customer ID, db.uai, configurations.customer ID. So then for these, filter for active evaluations. And then we're also going to filter out filter for overridden customers. And then, so all we have to do here is const allowed customers equals an array. And let me go grab their customer IDs. And you can't see Streamlined here. Okay, so that's gonna be this guy, this, and then Mr. Okay, like that. So const what's this one? Last activity enabled filtered customers equals last activity enabled dot filter location, where that is not how you do the arrow. If allowed customers dots includes location dot customer ID, return false. All right. Yeah, then that should give us customers dot length. Yeah, and then we just drop only those customers sub accounts into this task, and we have an error somewhere. Why do we have a red? Where's the error? What? Oh. You cocksucker, dude. I knew it. String or null. It's not going to be null. All right. Just take my word for it. Oh. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Why can we not... I guess it is a nullable property, but... That's fucked up, dude. Yeah, no, it's fine. It will have a customer ID. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, I just need to make it non-nullable. Okay, but that should work. And then I think that's really the main thing we need. I would say the only other thing that does run is concurrent messages, but that's just kind of redundant. It doesn't really help that much. I think the last activity checks is the main thing. And then I guess that's really all we need. That's the only change we actually need. So I'll just copy this over and then I'll just deploy this. And then I kind of want to go to bed, dude. I'm like exhausted. Last activity. All right. Oh no, there's an error. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. But that should really do it. Let's just lint it. What do you mean there's no... Oh. Alright, make build. Cocksucker. This runs for cell build. And we could actually try this one as well. Dry run. So it linted correctly, and yeah, I mean, it seems to be fine. Fuck. Dude, this is gonna be so much work though. Moving everything over. And we have so many, bruh. This high level one really, we could get an agent to do it, but I think it's going to be just pretty inconsistent or just annoying to like get an agent to actually go in here and do things the way I want them. So I think we're going to have to do it ourselves. Get yeah. This is a disaster. It's gonna take me the rest of my life, dude. But yeah. Then we have the webhooks, which actually these could probably go somewhere else. Like our ingesting place, except they have to be, yeah, I mean, because we have an event receiver. That's really the only type of place that needs to see this. So yeah, why don't we just put that in our to-do integrations. Yeah, like that. And then yeah. Then the only thing here is we could probably have like a conversations directory here, because this is conversations. We have kind of like opportunities and a bunch of random shit in here, which should probably go into its own directory. So we could break this up a bit. But yeah. Kill me. Alright, did this build or what? Blam. Now I want to try running this one. This dry run. Make sure this works. Whoops. What the hell was that? There we go. Yes, update me. Nice, that's pretty fast. All right, we will do deploy it. Then we're just gonna have to see what actually happens, because I'm gonna text these customers and be like, yo, all right, it's good, but fucking be worried. All right, I'll tell them. Yo, just added an override for your evaluations. It should evaluate normally for you now. Also working on a smarter system that can cost less but still deliver accurate results. All right, that's it. That's that one task. That was so fucking easy, dude. Yeah. So, really, this is gonna be a huge fucking pain in the ass. I mean, we've already spent like 2 hours on this, and it's probably gonna be another. This might be like a 10-hour project just to move shit over to our monorepo. But that should allow us to have a much kind of better system as we scale. Yeah, I think we also are gonna have a dupe dashboard function somewhere. This one is get customer from location install. But should I call it just get rid of the get, because it's kind of implied? right? I don't fucking know. Naming things really is the hardest thing about programming. There was literally like dude, we should just watch Fireship. I could literally watch Fireship right now. Because there was literally like a video where he said, he says there are two hard things in computer science. I'm gonna find that quote. Cache invalidation and naming things. Cache invalidation and naming things. Cache invalidation? That doesn't seem that hard. Not that I've ever done it. Dude, I'm getting flashbanged right now. Exactly once delivery. These are hilarious. There are two hard problems with cache validation, naming things, and off by one errors. Oh god, dude, your website breaks when I scale it up. There are only two hard problems in distributed systems. Exactly once delivery. One, order of messages. Two, exactly once delivery. There's two hard problems in computer science. We only have one joke and it's not funny. That's pretty funny. There are so many variations on the there are two hard problems in computer programming joke that I'm starting to suspect that programming isn't actually very easy. That's a crazy insight. This one's funny though. So is this one. But yeah, naming things is the eternal struggle. And I mean, ideally you could just name something and then just command like search all and replace. But search all and replace could also fuck you in the ass in some cases, especially as your project grows, because you just get a bunch of shit you're not familiar with. But yeah, so all right. Do you think we could do this HighLevel all today? Because that would be a feat. That would allow us to probably do a lot of this trigger stuff that we need to do. What's this error? Object is possibly undefined. Wow, and with my new linter errors, or setup, I'm getting a lot of other errors that I didn't normally have. But yeah, I think most of these are just coming from HighLevel, my kind of SDK. So, yeah. And then how did we set up this module resolution thing? Because we're basically saying, oh, that's nice actually. I kind of want to copy this. Compiler options. So then we could have, in our compiler options, we could have paths at is /source. That's actually really fucking nice to have. Because then that means you don't have to fucking try to figure out the file path to get something working. Like in this case, we can literally just do @/installation. Instead of having to go like, is it one level up? Is it two levels? How the fuck do I get there? But yeah, then that means this could also become, and then that could be, like, in this case, we could have access and error be at access. Just like this. What? How did this... Tell me why this error just came out of literally nowhere. Oh my god, if this error doesn't come back now, it's not gonna come back. What? God damn it, dude. Zed pisses me off sometimes. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Then this is actually a location level task. So this should be put in location, create task. We need a tasks directory. Create task, get all notes, appointments, get appointments, get contact, get conversation, get custom fields, opportunities. That's gonna be down here. Get contact, get tasks, search conversations, search opportunities, get contact, update tags, upsert contact. All right, that's all we need. Except what is this? Oh yeah, this is just nothing. All right. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool. Now I gotta decide if I want to keep going. All right, I'm just gonna get more water, and then we will persist. I'm tired as shit, but I don't think I can go to sleep, so we might as well finish creating the HighLevel package. That is not going to be easy. No, it's not. I do not. So yeah, finish creating HighLevel package. Maybe we get it done in 45 minutes, you know? Maybe. All right, I'll be back. All right. Let's go. For some reason I left and I got more viewers. What's up, guys? Welcome to hell. Welcome to literally, I don't think you can say you're going to commit personal harm, but let's just say I'm not excited for this. All right. In this case, we're getting appointment by ID. Now we're back to the fucking naming things problem, dude. What if we just did get appointment by ID? Whatever. All right. Import access token from /access. Import HighLevel error. And then here we actually have, we'll just take this and we'll define it here. I think it makes more sense. And then in this case, we'll get rid of this. And just import type appointment from /appointment. Okay, so this one, all we need to do is change this to be at packages/database, and then this is going to be access token. Access token. And then down here, we don't need this try catch, but what we will do as data, and then we'll say if we did not get an appointment, then throw new high level error, and that's going to be appointment from ID data. Else console.log appointment from ID data. All right. We don't really need that. Why do we... Huh? We have it twice? Don't tell me we've literally been doing this fucking twice, dude. Oh my god. This is insane. Please. No wonder we hit fucking rate limits all the goddamn time, dude. Get appointment. Wait. Yeah, what the fuck? We literally do it twice? Dude, my code base is such a goddamn mess. Oh my god. Actually, I wonder if we could, I wonder if we could further extract this, you know, just make it even simpler. Because really, it's a very similar structure. It's get an access token, fetch it. In this case, fetch it twice, but we should really only fetch it once, right? And then we pass in some key that we look for. And if we don't have that, then we pass in the function name, throw an error. Otherwise, we just return that data. So we could probably just extract that into a separate function, just to make our life a little bit easier yet. Chat, what do we think? All right, so we have this get access token, token from install. That's really all it does. And then we have our error type, and then we have, well, really, yeah, I mean, we could export, but I think one of the main benefits is having this typing here so that you get proper typing of the response. Let's see, how does, because there was one like SDK that someone wrote. There's like a TypeScript SDK. I wonder if we go on GitHub and see if we have it starred or something. How the hell do you see your starred? Your stars, there we go. How did I not star his fucking TS SDK? This guy built a PHP SDK? What? Whoa, PHP sucks, dude. What is this? What the hell? This is disgusting. All right. Yeah, never mind. All right. We'll just build. I think we could probably just use like a wrapper, like a generic wrapper function. Function.ts. So it'll literally be export async function. What do we call it? Execute my execute execute. Am I like brain dead? I think I am, because it's 10:30 and I'm tired. Execute query, whatever. And then we'll pass in a type here too, and we'll have we need a key, which is going to be what we're looking for. Probably a name, which is going to be a string. And maybe we should just do this notation: name, string, name of the function, of the parent function. This is going to be key, which and that's going to be name, string. Key is going to be a string, and then we need we probably need a fair amount of other stuff, right? Like we could actually call this function name payload key, and then this is going to be key to search for in the payload to make sure it was successful. So then we would basically just have, and then this is going to be promise of type T. And then, yeah, so we would basically have the exact same kind of function as this, like this. So we'll say we basically need to get the access data. So this is really only going to work for like location level contacts, stuff like that. Company level stuff is not going to really work. But we'll do, I mean, I wonder if we could just have it be, so we also need request path, like this. Request path is going to be, dang it. Oh my God. Option tab, there we go. Request path, and so then this would be just slash request path. Whatever, we just need to make sure this doesn't include a leading. What we'll do is const request path equals request path dot car at 0 equals slash. Yeah, we'll just do it that way. Then in this one, we would just slice 1. Is that how we would do it? Param start. Yeah, okay, nice. All right, that should work. And then we need probably accept is always going to be the same, but then version is going to be different, and the method. So we'll have options method could be post or get or delete or patch, or maybe put sometimes. We'll just leave those out for now. And then version is going to be a string. And so, and then we need options. So this is going to be import token from install from /token /access actually. So we'll do token from install, and then we're going to pass the install type is going to be location ID. We also need install, which I'll put up here, which is going to be location ID string, and then an app key string, and then we're going to have to pass drizzle down as well. Drizzle client from there. Install. Okay, this is going to be quite a hardy function here, but install.location_id, install.app_key. Okay. Then all we're going to do here is request options.method, and then this is going to be options.version, and then we'll make the fetch request as t, and then if data, we'll say if payload key in data. Does that work? Type boolean is not assignable to type string number symbol. What does that mean? Well, we need to import this, so let's do that. And then we'll throw the function name along with the data. And then otherwise, we will return data at payload key. I think everything should have a payload key, although this could really come to bite me in the dick later. Oh, it's saying it's unknown? No, but it's of type T. Actually, we should name this as this type parameter might need an extends object constraint. No thanks. We'll say this is going to be response data. So promise response data, and then this is going to be as response data. And then for some reason, oh, we could probably just do if dot data dot payload key, but it's still gonna be mad about that. Basically, function name. For some reason, it's not gonna. For some reason, this is ugly to it. Oh. Const. fetch URL, fetch options. Okay. But then that should work. And then in this case, all we would need is basically to run and this shouldn't be called execute query. This should be called const return await execute query type data, and then that would be basically the function name is going to be get appointment by ID. The payload key is going to be appointment. The request path is going to be slash. Oh, we should have copied this. Is this the same function? Yeah, where we're doing the fetch literally twice. And then, what else do we need? Drizzle will be drizzle. And then install is going to be and then the options are going to be method get and headers, and version is this. Okay, that's actually pretty nice now. That's much simpler, and this should make things go a lot faster to update everything. I just hope we can actually use that key, because I think in some cases we can't, but yeah, that should be fine. And then let's see. So I don't know, what should we call this function, chat? Chat, we're cooked. What's up, Damira Digital? What do we call this function, chat? Execute API, run query, get data. Get data is so simple. Whatever, we'll keep that name for now. Then that means this only has to become return await execute query. I'm going to import that. That's going to be of type data. And then, yeah. And then in this case, our query key is going to be, our payload key is going to be events. Our request path will be this, or just this. It's confusing because get appointments. Yeah, that's fucked up. But it's fine. And then we pass down drizzle, but it's giving us this fucking stupid ass error. Method is get, version is this, and then yeah, that should really be basically all we need. Yeah. Oh, and then change this. Get all contact appointments. All right. then I guess we gotta restart this because it's saying drizzle is unsafe or something, but it's not. It's fine. Damn, ESLint support in fucking... Oh, it's back. We have... Oh, yes. This is wrong. Packages / database. Alright, that was the problem. Okay, that's actually pretty fucking chill. Now we just have to think about naming these, but I could come back to that. AKA, that means I'll never come back to it. I'll literally just fucking rock with it till the end of time. In this case, we have a different install type. And... oh, we might need to do... if the... Interesting. I wonder if we should try to do this using our tool that we have. That really only applies at the company level, because everything else can be done except for mutations. So like in this one, if the method equals post, then we'll say const headers equals, and then this will be content type. I wonder if you could just include that always. I think it's probably fine, right? And then the only thing we have to do is here we need a payload. But this could actually be like, I wonder if we should have a Zod schema for this, because we could do we would have to install Zod. npm add Zod. Oh, it's installing everything. Import Z from Zod, and then we'll do how do you const schema const payload equals z.object. Then I think you do function name z.string. Oh, it would actually be an enum. We would have const, because I want to include body, but I want to make it type safe so that we only have the body when the method is post. Call it function. That's a good idea. That is what we have it. The file name is function. Execute function. Function run. Const. How the fuck? My brain is so fucking dead, dude. It would basically be like z.enum. Oh, actually, we could do this with TypeScript types. We don't actually need Zod for that. So we could say type base payload equals this, all this. Type post payload or mutation payload equals base payload and options dot, no, I don't think you can do it that way. Method is post and then payload any. How can we type this nicely? We'll just say unknown, because you can use unknown, you just can't use any, which is fine. So then we'll say type payload equals mutation payload or base payload. Okay. And then that should make it so that we'll say payload in payload in, oh, we'll just do payload or undefined. Can you do it that way? Cannot find name payload. Oh, right, because we need payload here. Payload does not exist on type payload. Yeah, I think you'll find that it actually fucking does, you dumb cocksucker. What do we think, chat? Look at this. We have 1,085 errors. Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright. Is this error going to come back? Loading. That's a bad sign. I mean, this error came back. Oh. Maybe it's fine. Nope. This was the problem. Payload does not exist on type payload. Why is it telling me that? Please help. Please help me, ChatGPT. Or Claude 4 Opus. Only exists on mutation payload, not on base payload. When using a union type and function parameters, TypeScript needs all properties to exist on all union members. Then what the fuck is the point of the union? Rest? Oh, I see. But then that still allows us to pass payload with the wrong method. What's this rest one? Don't we do payload unknown? Actually, why don't we just go back to what we had and just add payload as an optional parameter? Because that way, I mean, we don't even actually need our fucking types here. We'll just have payload unknown. And then we'll say body payload, otherwise undefined. All right, cool, that should work. And then should we I mean, we could probably make it more if we just had install type location or, God, I suck at typing, company. And then this install ID would just be a string. Install type. Oh, this should just be type an ID. All right. So then here, this would have to be type is location. Same thing here. Come on, auto suggest. Yes. And then here, this one would be I'm literally spending more time fucking setting this up than it would have taken me to do the whole goddamn thing. But at least now, dude, there's less fucking code repetition, bro. That's the devil, code repetition. You can't repeat yourself, literally ever. Okay, so then in this case, the request path is gonna be custom menus. And then payload key is going to be custom menu. And we also need to import this. And then this is going to be create menu item, and the payload key, we have that, request path, passing drizzle in, then the install type is company, this is going to be company ID, and then post, and the method version is this, and the body, is going to be link body. I think that looks right. Now we just need to see why it's fucking telling me this shit. Unsafe return of a value of type error. Oh, we don't have the response properly typed. Okay. Yes, we're making so much fucking progress, dude. Oh my god. We're literally gonna finish in like the next 30 seconds. Mark my words. Okay, so here we have, all we're doing is getting this. So this can actually just be, all right, return await this. And so this is going to be company. What was it just, oh, that key is going to be company. We're passing in response. And then this function is get company info. The request path is /company ID. Get, we don't need a payload here. And then, yep, the version's correct. Get rid of this. And possibly this as well. Oh, I see. For this one, we're actually passing in literally the access token. This could almost be like, this has to do with our installation process, because when we run this, we're doing, we have the access token. Yeah, so we insert the install row. Why do we not upsert the access data? app installs. Oh, I see. So we get the company info, and then only once we... Oh, right, because we won't have a primary row. The only way to solve this would be to write basically a placeholder primary row with just a primary key, and then create the access row, and then update our company primary row with all the info we get back. We might just have to do that instead, just to keep things simple. Yeah. But then that should basically give us kind of most of what we need. And then we can make it so that this is just uses this new syntax, which would just kind of simplify things a bit better. Warning. Are neither consistently synchronous nor are they consistently asynchronous. Wow. Interesting. Okay. But yeah, we'll just do it this way. And then in this case, all we need to pass in is the app key and the company ID and a drizzle instance. So we'll do app key string drizzle. It's gonna be drizzle client. So like that. Why? Type response. Yes. Unsafe return of a value of type error. Holy shit. There's something... Oh, we haven't imported this yet. Bruh. ESLint might be making my life harder, dude, not gonna lie. Alright. Well, I think that's fine. We, set up high-level packages. Finish high-level packages. Alright, I need to go to bed ASAP. This is, I cannot keep doing this. So, what we'll do tomorrow is we'll finish these high-level packages. Hopefully that only takes an hour and a half. Then we can finish the trigger package. This is like a really fucking aggressive schedule because I don't know that we can actually do that. Then we can finish the rest of the helpers. Actually, we'll probably have to do that before we finish trigger. And then trigger, then we can do the front end. And then ideally we could do all that stuff before it's, you know, in like a day, right? Then we need to update our Stripe web hook receiver, just get that deployed. And then ideally Cameron will have something to say about that. And then, yeah, we've got some bugs to fix, but overall, the main priority right now is moving things to a monorepo so that we can get, you know, our, so that we can move over to Cloudflare. And then once we're on Cloudflare, we should be able to get much higher concurrency. Right after that, after we're basically set up, we're going to move over to running contact backfills on Cloudflare. That'll be the first thing because that's the task that sucks up a shit ton of concurrency, is extremely expensive. I think if I look at most of my spend, probably like half of it's going to be backfilling contact data. So yeah, like the biggest basically spend for this month is backfilling contact data. Let's see what it is for July, but yeah, damn, we spent less in the entire month of July than we have in August. so far, and we're only halfway through the fucking month. This is why we need to move off of Trigger, part of the reason. And then, yeah, we can move backfill contact data. Then after we do that, we'll probably try to move evaluate contact over and make it a little bit smarter. That should allow us to onboard a shit ton more customers. And then we really need to look at moving all of these tasks over, but that's going to be a lot more tedious. Ideally, I would just like to rip Trigger out entirely because it's just not holding up to the demands of our app right now. And so it's a bottleneck. It needs to be widened. That's what you do with bottlenecks. You fucking stretch them out. Let's constipation solving device. Tool. Stretch. Where did I see this? I think I saw it on like Instagram or something. Jeez, this is just depressing. Maybe if we search like metal. That's what I'm thinking of. Constipation widen asshole tool. Of course, dude. Of course it's butt plugs. Jesus Christ. That's not what I'm thinking of. Where did I see that video? Stretching water bottle hole constipation. This is what it's like building 100K a month SaaS, guys. This is the reality. Just Google. Oh my god. Alright. What is this anal fissure? Jeez, I just saw that keyword. This is gonna be like a YouTube short or on TikTok or something. Or Instagram. Site tiktok.com. Constipation device. Oh yes. Okay, here's what we need to do to our bottlenecks.
Many people suffer from constipation, so I invented this unobstructed toilet. We just need to sit on it and press the switch without needing to exert ourselves, and large things will fall down by themselves. Sometimes using the toilet.
So yeah, this is what you do with bottlenecks in your business. When you have a bottleneck that's preventing you from growing, here's how you solve it. So that's what we're gonna do. That's why we're switching over to Cloudflare and ripping Trigger out. And really, we're just trying to help this thing scale, because there is such thing as scaling a SaaS. Most businesses don't scale. I've talked about this before because it's so painful that you're literally just growing it. Like you're fucking sitting there like every day grinding to grow it. But in some businesses, you do scale it. And SaaS is one of those. And it requires using a tool like this on all of your bottlenecks. So, yeah, that's the plan. All right, thanks for watching the stream. Let me know if you have any questions. You can hit me up on Instagram. My IG is in the bio. So, or in the, not the bio, the, for fuck's sakes. It's in the description, wherever that is. But yeah. Why don't I use Dia? I saw someone else using Dia. Oh, this is the Arc. This is the browser company, right, Erden? Mainly because I think it's like write with your tabs or chat with your tabs, and I'm like, I don't really give a shit about that. That's kind of the main reason why. God, this website is like 10 billion nits, dude. Yeah, the browser company. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of Yeah, I don't know. That kind of left a bad taste in my mouth with the browser company. They build Arc and then they go, no, we need to build a whole new product to add like these AI features. And it's like, okay, whatever, dude. I'll just use fucking. There's like a bunch of browsers with tabs on the side, and that's really the only thing I care about. So I'll just use something else. All right, I gotta hop off. Thanks for watching, guys. Yeah, feel free to hit me up on Instagram if you have questions.